Hello guys, what is going on and welcome to another weekly book review. Today I'm going to be reviewing The Maze Runner. When the lift cranks open, the only thing Thomas remembers is his first name. But he is not alone. An army of boys welcome him to the Glade, an encampment at the centre of a terrible maze. And following the arrival of a girl with a message, they must find a way out, or die. So, yes. The Maze Runner by, what's his name? James Dashner. That's a pretty cool name. So yeah, this is a part of the Maze Runner trilogy book set thing. There's four of them, but it's a trilogy because the other one's a prequel. Because of course it is. Books like this tend to like series like this tend to also like try and milk out as much as possible. Then again, the author just might have wanted to tell us so much story, but I don't think that's very likely. I'll get into why in a second. Firstly, though, I want to talk about the positives with this book. So you might be starting to see a theme in what I really like about books and what I really dislike. The main thing I love about any book is the protagonist. I mean, with Harry Potter, obviously. With the Wayfarer series, the different protagonists, because there's multiple characters in that. Every single one is really fleshed out. Whilst with this book, it's in a kind of different scenario, and the concept kind of leans away from having a really detailed protagonist, which doesn't really work for me. Being more specific about that, so the main concept is that he has no sort of he can't recall anything from his like past. He has no memories of it. So he's kind of a blank slate. No baggage or anything like that. All he has is certain feelings which feel like instincts, which later come to like fruition where it's not just instincts but actually memories, but really embedded and stuff like that. So that's one. I'm gonna talk a lot about the protagonist. Firstly, I hate how the author sort of does the emotions, because instead of doing a lot of show not tell, I mean, this sounds like just like yeah, 11 English or something like that. But instead of doing a lot of show not tell, after every bit of dialogue that isn't the main protagonist, like him speaking, there's always like, this makes Thomas angry, which is the name of the main protagonist. Probably should have mentioned that. Or this makes Thomas sad. Just very simple and just stating the emotion, like the emotional state of the main character. And because of the way it's done, it makes the character feel very like there's no middle ground between the emotions. There's either sadness, happiness, anger, or like contempt, pretty much. Not contempt. That's like another form of anger. I can't think of the word. Just normal, let's just say. I can't think of the word. There's no like middle ground, and it feels the character's so black and white. I really dislike this character. But one of the good things is that every protagonist is a companion or companions, and the companion in this book is really good. It rivals like Piggy from Lord of the Flies, where the main companion is just. I'm not gonna spoil what happens with the character, but what I will say to everyone who's read the book, the main companion in the book, Chuck, his name is, everything that happens to him, and I mean everything, I feel like he's done really, really well. And I mean everything when I say that. I sort of briefly touched upon the concept, the maze, the glade, stuff like that. I really enjoyed that sort of dystopia type of feel with it, where they didn't really know what was happening outside, but with a few people like sort of getting memories, they sort of knew that it wasn't good. The maze, I thought, it was very reminiscent of Fallout. If you don't know the game series Fallout, basically, after a nuclear war. Well, at the start of the nuclear war, the government built a bunch of bunkers on the ground with instead of like just like housing people, they had like a hidden agenda, where they wanted to do experiments and stuff like that. And this it's kind of like that. I haven't read on from the Maze Runner, so I don't know if it's exactly like that. But I feel like that's a very similar story. Moving on to the structural side of things, the chapters are really, really short. Like, some of them are like 2 or 3 pages, and the font's like massive as well. It's bigger than a normal sized book, from what I can tell. The chapters, there's 64 chapters in a 360-page book, so there's a new chapter like every 5 or 6 pages. So if you do the math, so it's really bizarre to me, because like it just feels weird. If they doing it, if the author did it like a strategic way, or like the publisher or whatever, who like the editor, did it strategically to make it, because a lot of people say that when the chapters are shorter, it makes them read more because it feels like they're reading a lot, and that's good to them or something like that. So I don't know. That's just, if that's the reason, then I don't really like it. I don't really like it anyway because it just makes no sense. Because the way the chapters are, there's like there can be like 5 chapters that could have just been 1 chapter because the scenario doesn't change, the event doesn't change, the characters don't change, nothing changes. It just continues. Like if that chapter page wasn't there where it said new chapter, I would not have noticed. It makes no sense. There isn't a new message or like fable or whatever. Literally no difference I can tell between chapters. So I don't understand why it's there, honestly. Now this is going to be a weird gripe that a lot of people will probably disagree with me with, but I thought there was too much action. It might be coupled with the chapter issue where I thought, my god, this same bit of action has been happening after 10 chapters, which it has. I've counted it. It literally, one bit of action from start to end has happened for 10 chapters once, which was absolutely insane. And it just felt like there was too much action compared to how much you were learning about the Glade and the Gladers and stuff like that. I just didn't think the balance was right, and that's just a personal thing for me. I'm not going to say that it's a negative towards the book as a whole, because that's just my opinion. The same with the fact that I didn't know if I wanted to mention this or not. Okay, it's kind of hypocritical because one of my favourite series of all time is the Harry Potter series, along with a lot of other people, and the Miss Peregrine series. And they were made to be more than 1 book, much like the Maze Runner. But the way this is done, it feels like the story just getting started when the book ends, and it feels like it's a prequel rather than a full story, and then it's adventures to like be continued. You know what I mean? Like a Harry Potter book, at the end of the Philosopher's Stone or Sorcerer's Stone, he goes home, and then it's like, oh, next year we'll come back. So the story had a full arc. It went from start to end. The characters grew. You learn about the world to completion almost. There wasn't like much more to learn that the reader was given at that specific point in the Harry Potter one. And very, very much the same with Miss Peregrine. You learned a lot about the characters. Every specific character was fleshed out in its own little way. And then at the end, if you've never seen Miss Peregrine, if you've ever seen Miss Peregrine, that movie was god awful. But if you never read the book, basically at the end, I'll just be very vague about it. They set off somewhere. I mean, that's very vague. But they set off somewhere after leaving the previous adventure behind. While with this, it feels like a continuation. And I really dislike that. I know it's no personal thing, but sorry about that. It's my opinion. I just want to get it out there. So I don't know if that's all of my opinions. If there's any more, then if someone mentions in the comments, I will definitely talk about it. I can't really think of anything else at this moment in time. However, despite all the negatives I had for this book, the next book I'll be reading next week is the Scorch Trials. Yes, I said in the previous review that I will be taking on a really long book, but I kind of just want to get this trilogy out of the way, get it done, and then that's not to say that in the next week after Scorch Trials, there will be Death Cure, which is the final one. That's definitely not set in stone. It just depends on what I want to read, and I'm kind of trying to pace myself because I've got a tiny bit of a backlog. Like right now, I'd say like from my peripheral vision, I can see about 25 books, and I say I've read about 90% of them, so I'm just trying to like get them out of the way before I start buying more books for the series, because then I don't want to get to the point where I'm buying books just to read them for the series. I want to get the books that I've already got, read them, and then give you my opinions. But yeah, if you also got suggestions for books that you want me to read, then make sure to let me know, because I will potentially pick them up. Like, most of the books that I love have been recommendations. The Wayfarers, Peregrine, and Harry Potter have all been recommendations. I haven't just picked them up, unlike the Maze Runner, which was definitely not a recommendation. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and all that stuff, and hopefully I will see you next one. Goodbye.